Hello viewers, and welcome to another session of the Marine Presidency Profile Series. It's actually an industry program which educates, informs, and then shares a lot of knowledge about industry issues. This is because we get it right from those who have experienced it, from people who we believe are pushing the industry to great heights as far as the wider sustainability is concerned. Today we are very privileged, we are very much privileged to be among one of the greats in the industry. He's done so well, great things and very wonderful things as far as EHS, that is the Environmental Health and Safety, is concerned in the industry. He's no other person than Alfred Chinbuah. Alfred is currently the EHS manager for Bibiani mine, the Asante Gold. And then, quite remarkably, that's why I said we are very much privileged. He also doubles as a recent Lifetime Achievement Award in the mining industry. We are so grateful to be here today. Thanks so much for that, sir.
Thank you.
Like I said in the intro, you've done marvelous things as far as EHS is concerned. You've given a lot of talk, shared a lot of knowledge about safety issues, especially as regards the mining industry. Do you want to tell us a little about yourself, your background, and how did you get interested in the mining industry in the first place?
Thank you, Doris, for those kind words, and I'm really honored and grateful for this opportunity to be speaking to you with the personality profile. I have an interesting background. I started off as a science student in university and ended up as an art student in Fijai. My whole aim was to become a lawyer, but I did so well at the A-levels. But I had some challenge with O-level maths. So I could not enter the law school. Incidentally, when I was coming out of going to see one professor at Chile, somebody had directed me to go and see. I bought graphic when I was reading on the transport. And then I saw that the University of Edinburgh had picked me to come and do Bachelor of Education, honors degree in Cambridge. So I proceeded to Cambridge, I registered. So it was a 4-year program, a diploma in religious studies. So whilst at the university, getting to the last year, a guy came and started talking to us about the fire service. So I became really interested. Me and a few of our friends. So we formed kind of a fire cadets.
Okay.
So we're doing some drills, and then we're doing fire lessons, and then they finished much earlier than the two of us, me and Alfred. So when I finished, I was posted to Apokere's training college in Asante. I went to the school, and then the principal told me there's no vacancy for me. Because it's got somebody from Legon who used to be there, and that was the person that was going to be accepted as a psychology teacher. Okay. So he gave me a release, came back to Asante region, and from there they said, go, come back in 2 weeks' time for reposting. I went there for 2 weeks, they said, still no school for me. And I think it was all gone. So then I decided I'll go to fire service. So I went to University of Edinburgh. At that time, Mr. Kuno Chen, he was doing some consultancy for the National Fire Service. So he had some bit of links with the chief of. So I went to him. So he gave me a letter, and I took to the Ghana National Fire Service, the chief officer. And immediately he accepted me and said, what do you want to do? I said, Kofodia. So they wrote a letter from him. to Koforia, then I went to the National Service Secretariat, changed my posting to Koforia, and Koforia I went to do my service, and I did it for 2 years. And I thought that I wanted to be a fireman. So I stayed until 1989, February, when I had an appointment to go to training. So I went to training with all of these friends, the people that I'm talking to you about. But one of them became the chief officer, Feka.
Okay.
Yes, Feka, I mean, this was my bed, this was Feka's bed, you know. So we trained for 6 months, and then we were asked to go back to our stations and then come back 6 months and to pass out, which I did. Now, on the very day that we were going to pass out, there was an advert. There was a company called Temporary Goldfield.
Yes, really.
Looking for a fire and safety officer.
Oh.
So my good friend, Conrad, he's so rest in peace, said, "Oh, this will fit you so well.
Yes.
You can make a career out of mining."
Yeah.
I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah. You can make a career out of mining." I said, "Okay." So I wrote the application, and lo and behold, I was invited for the interview. So the day we passed out on the Friday, the Monday was when I was to attend the interview in Kappa. And Lawrence, to be very fair to you, I couldn't define even what safety is. Let alone, I've not seen the inside of the mind.
Yes.
But I have a very good friend and a brother, OH&S. He happened to be working at the telephone complex.
Okay.
And they had a safety officer.
Oh.
So he collected some, I think it's JD. And he gave it to me to study. And this is what the safety officer do. I don't think I remember anything from that JD. So I came for the interview in Tapa. And we were going to stay back. And then they said, "Oh, you've been shortlisted for the next round." Really? But the person that was going with me into the second round was actually doing a bit of a safety officer. He was a fire officer at Akwatia.
Then he has seen the mine.
He has seen the mine. So he was the one that I was going into the second round. And I just sat down there, you know, and then I was told, "You are the winner.
Oh.
You've been adjudged the best for the role. When can you start?" "Well, I can start on the 1st of April. Because then we're in February. So I needed to give at least 1 month notice to resign from the Ghana National Fire Service. And I had another friend, PC, Ebenezer PC Z. You know, he also had another friend who was working in the noise department. And that person happened to be PC here.
Okay.
So we met in Takwa and PC was the one that encouraged me.
Yeah.
So if I found myself accepting that role and coming into my it was super serious. Because he gave me all the pep talk, all the things that I needed to do, and then he said, "Look, don't worry, I'm here. I'm just in Takra, I'll come and help you with your role." So that's how I got into mining. So I came to Temporary Goldfields, and I remember I was telling somebody that the very first task they gave me was to distribute hard hats. Because the mine was still under construction. And they had ordered hard hats, you know, with a Temporary logo. And I put the liners in there, and then I went out. No, the first I had to put everybody's name on there, because I had a small machine. Then I could type the names and put it on there, and then into the field. And I started working as a miner, doing health and safety and the fire. Which was after the fire. I didn't know how I was doing, but come the end of the year, when they were looking for the best worker in 1990, I was adjudged the best worker. And my reward was 500,000 cedis. So that spurred me on.
Yes.
And I have people coming in and say, "Oh, you can add this to what you're doing, you can add this to what you're doing, you can add this to what you're doing." When you're those days, there was no computer, nothing.
That's true.
So just a few books, and I quite remember some of the inspectors from the inspector division. At that time, it wasn't, we just called them inspector division.
We have the inspector division.
They called it the mines department. So they were the inspectors. And Francis Mason was the mechanical inspector. So good to me. He would bring the books, he would coach me. And I had another one coming from Takrali, Mr. Pia. He was a machinery inspector, but in charge of electricity. He would bring me books. And he said, don't return them, just take them. And then later on I had Mr. Bring your boy Chumesi. And he would also come. So, if you ask me where I got my earlier experiences in mining safety, I got them from the people from the Inspectorate Division, now part of the NEBOSH Commission. They were quite knowledgeable.
Yes.
And whatever they told me, and that's my nature, whatever they told me, I took it as the gospel truth and made sure that we carry it out. And they were so fond of me until today. And then Mr. Saki himself, of course, he was in Accra, he was the chief inspector of mines. So these were all people who had so much confidence in me that I could do well to save the industry from. Because the accidents on the mine were segment, it was taking a toll on the lives of people who were getting maimed here and there. And when you at that time, the position safety officer wasn't very popular in the mining sector. It wasn't very popular. If it became popular, then I popularized it. And even for goldfields, because they took over from ABA, Asante Gold Bibiani. I became the first health and safety manager for the company.
Yes, so I was going to say that, especially the ABA one. Now I was going to add a couple more. And the question is, when coming that far?
To be honest with you, I wasn't looking at coming that far. In fact, I thought that health and safety office in the mine was just that.
Yes.
I mean, it was a kind of a dead end career, you know, until Goldfields. But Goldfields, I started off as a superintendent. And that was the first time I was even hearing the word safety superintendent. You know, I was in that role for 6 months, and then I was confirmed as a manager. And I set up the health and safety department at Goldfields. It was non-existent. I set it up in 2002. So the question you asked is quite relevant. Was I looking to go that far? No, I wasn't. But I think as I moved on, and those positions became quite clear, you know, I knew that I could get to it one day. So, and then I became the divisional safety manager for West Africa for Anglo Gold, which means that I had 5 mines that I was controlling.
Yes.
Obuasi, Biakrin, Sibiri, Guinea, Sadiola mine, and then Yatela mine in Mali.
Oh, that time Bibiani was not part of it.
No, Bibiani was not part of it. So I go to Mali, spend some time there, go to Guinea, spend some time there, and then come to Ghana. We were all looking at the management system, you know. I don't know whether you're going to ask me about my achievements, but let's go.
Yes, I was going to do that and tie it with your most important highlights. It's three. It's many.
Yeah, there are many.
Yes.
But my highlights were, to start with, I mean, in Goldfields I was given a very distinct job to do, to set up the management system and align it with OH&S 18001. And I did that in 2 years. Yes, I set the system up in Goldfields, aligned it to OH&S 18001, and by 2005, Goldfields, Ghana, Tapaman, was certified to OH&S 18000.
Yeah, I remember when I was next door.
Yes. And it was the first of the companies in the Goldfields group to be certified to OH&S 18001. All of them.
Yeah, but that's huge.
Yeah. South Africa, Peru, Australia, Ghana, and I was the one that did that. So they had a vice president, may so rest in peace, Brenda Walker. Brenda then decreed that every operation in Goldfields will become OH&S certified. So one of the singular feats. And then through that process, I got an invitation from the National Safety Council in the US. It was a very big body.
Yes.
To come and speak at the conference.
Yeah.
And so I had to give them a synopsis of what I wanted to talk about. And the topic I chose at that time was the challenges of implementing OH&S 18001. So I did my synopsis, I sent it to them, and then the panel agreed that because the 80001 was just coming out. So, but then I had to go and present the same topic on the Goldfields Safety Conference in South Africa. And when I did that in South Africa, my paper was adjudged the second best. And I was awarded a quarter-ounce gold coin.
I see.
Quarter-ounce gold coin. I still got a gold coin.
Wow.
I told my wife I melted it into an earring, but she said, no, it's your achievement, it's still I just found it, it's there. Yeah. And then I went to the US to present the same paper. And it was a room full of people. And when they did they asked the opinion of the people about the presentation. And the question that interested me was, would you like to listen to this speaker again? And 60% of the people in the room said yes. And then I tried to find out from the National Safety Council more about speaking. They said, you are indeed the first African to speak at this congress. Wow! That was the 94th Congress in San Diego, in the US. So those are a bit of my highlights.
I see you've made a lot of movement over time, and lots since the first time seeing a mine. And in all this, it just couldn't have been by chance. What's been your strengths in getting all these things? What's actually been your inspiration? What's been pushing you on?
What's been pushing me on is what my father told me before I even finished school. My father would insist on hard work. I never saw my father absent himself one day. I never saw my father being late to work one day. So I picked those traits from him. And I saw my mother as a very hard working woman. She didn't have the benefit of education, but her intellect was so sharp. Even at 93 when she was dying, she could still remember everything about her childhood and all the things that happened in her life. So those were my inspirations. So I said to myself that if I ever found myself doing any work, I'll kill myself for the work. I'll do it as if it was my own business. And that has been my principle. Do it and you'll be recognized. Not by yourself, but by people around you. And as a matter of fact, when I got to Goldfields, it was one day that I was talking to the GM, and it was just I happened to be in his office and we were having a chat. And he said, "Do you know why we picked you for this role?" And I said, "No." He said, "After the interview, we went out to check on your background. We talked to a lot of people. And everybody that we talked to said 3 things about you. They said, if you want somebody who is hardworking, that's the guy. If you want somebody who is honest, that's the guy. If you want somebody who is humble, that's the guy." So in this life, Lawrence, humility, hard work, and honesty will take you to greater heights, unimaginable heights that you can think of. So those are my key principles of working in any organization. And I've instilled this in my wife and kids. And if you were to talk to my wife now, she'll tell you, you can't stay in my house and not go to work. And she's worked so hard that now she's the general manager of Catholic schools in Ghana. From a classroom teacher, that's where she is now. So I try to, everybody around me, please, these three things: hard work, honesty, and humility. Because in this life, there are those who are born to rule, to govern, and to teach. They are born like that. They are born to teach. They are born to rule. Not just these 3 types of people are there are also people who, as of necessity, must submit and obey and learn. For all these 2 groups of people, humility is an essential qualification. If you're not humble, you don't get far. If you lift your shoulders up, God will make sure that it comes down at the right level, and you see your sweetest level.
Because we have a close and personal chat with Alfred Chinbuah. Alfred is a manager at EHS for the beginning man, Asante Gold. And then Alfred believes that as engineers, we need to get ourselves into engaging in hard work, possess all the humility and honesty that we can put forth on the table. It pays a lot. And as professionals, we need to perform our duties as if we are doing it for ourselves. Hard work, humility, and honesty will get you to great heights. And for them, your current role, what do you seek to achieve with it?
So what I seek to achieve with my current role, so by saying, although this mine is an old mine, but the company itself is new.
That's true.
There are old structures, set on old foundations, which is very difficult. That's a challenge in itself. So my task really is to put a management system in place. Not to align it to either 45 times, but a management system that would ensure that this mine remains accident-free or incident-free.
Yes.
And that safety and health becomes embedded in the organization, that environmental management becomes one of world class.
Yeah.
Because I was told by the CEO that you are in charge of health and safety of a budding world class line. And if it's a budding world class line, then I have a duty to make sure that the standards and principles that we put in place are of a world class quality. That's my focus.
Looking at the industry, I mean, trace it back to way back. What do you think are the underlying trends that are shaping the industry now? In fact, do you think we are a bit close as far as local content is concerned?
I think that we've gotten very far. If I cast my mind back,
way back
to the days of Tabremi,
yes,
where there were only a few of us who were, so to speak, in the middle level class, management, not even in the upper class. There was only one person who was there. Well, all expatriates. Yes. If you go to the clubhouse, it's full of expatriates. Then I got to Goldfields, much the same story. Okay. And what struck me in Goldfields was in 2007, 2008, I've forgotten the exact year. By the middle of the year, to July, 50 people had lost their lives in the entire Goldfields operation worldwide. So the vice president at the time, I remember his name very well, Terence, called a meeting of all, but he called not everyone, yes, but he called certain people to go to South Africa to try and fashion out golden rules for Goldfields that will guide all the operations. And of the 50 people that had died, there was only one white man. There were 49 blacks and one white man. Of the 50 or so people in the room trying to fashion out the golden rules for Goldfields, there were 49 whites. And I was rolling backward. But I'm sure that if you go to Goldfields now, the situation has changed.
Very much.
I mean, if you go to Goldfields Ghana,
yes, very much.
I mean, the vice president, I don't know what the title is, but Josh. Yes. A very good friend. The EVP, Josh. And if you come down to the mine level, you won't find a lot of expertise. You won't find a lot of expertise in mining position. I mean, Idiaprim has always been heavyweight, Ghanaian. And you can even remember what I said back in the day. There were all expertise. Yeah. You know, middle and senior management and executive position. You know, and that has all changed over time. And over here in the scene, I can think of the MD who's the expatriates. The rest of the management team are all, you know, Ghanaians. Yes. So that's how far the landscape has changed. You know, and more of our compatriots are taking over positions, both in the middle and upper and executive positions in the mining industry. And it's helping to drive all the innovations that you can think of. You know. Because many, if you go to other African and West African and other places, there are Ghanaians who are in higher positions, just that they don't want to come down. Yeah. You know. Yeah. Once in a while, one of them comes down, you know, to help. Yeah. But the landscape has changed quite dramatically. But I think a lot has to do with legislation as well. I mean, now you cannot bring in somebody as a health and safety manager who is an expatriate. You know, Otherwise, if you give the expatriates, the companies that opportunity, they'll still bring, find job for their friends. I think so, but that's just quite recently. But the landscape changed, where, when I left Goldfields, for instance, I couldn't find a business for me. I think I got a white one. But then now they can't do it because of that legislation. So yes, so that's the.
I was looking at this one too. Same thing, just even where you left off. Goldfields probably then might not have been able to replace you when we're looking at the standards. So looking at the happenings in the industry now, for some time now, what would you say about standards and professionalism?
I think the standards are very high. I keep telling people who are not in mining or haven't been in mining before, that if you want a place, if everybody in Ghana can come to the mine and work for even 2 weeks, they go back to the communities, to their various workplaces, and everyone will be happy.
You're right, you're right. 100%.
You will not think of coming to work late.
Yes.
You will not think of eating and dropping stuff around. You will not think of staying in one room for 20 years without, doing something to upgrade your knowledge. So standards are very high. And the advent of technology has also helped very well.
Yes.
So it's driving the standards. But I'm happy that the advent of technology has, the Ghanaian has not been left behind in, being part of this technological change in the mining industry. And it's all for the good of the industry.
Then you probably will want to look at this, let's do it this way. What are your thoughts on strict safety practices?
It's the way to go. Because we're looking after people's fathers, people's mothers, people's uncles, the breadwinners. And you cannot let the safety standards slip down to any level where people will be maimed or killed. No, you can't do that. The industry has a duty to protect everyone that comes into it. And protecting everyone that comes into it means that we raise the bar of safety to the highest level. I say that if you are a supervisor, your highest standard in the workplace, your highest safety standard, is your employee's lowest standard. So if you raise the bar very low, they will meet you there.
Yes.
Okay. If for you, not doing your risk assessment, not doing your JSA, not doing cleaning up the place, it's fine with you. They will work and leave the place as it is. They come to work and not mind about their risk. But if they know that lorries is a type that if we don't do A, B, C by way of safety, you will not be happy with that. They will meet you there, and probably even surpass you. So we cannot let the standards come down to any level. It has to continue to grow to the highest level.
As a follow-up, do you think the industry is on top of safety issues currently? One thing probably we've not had any major catastrophic incident though. I do think the industry, as we speak,
yes, it is. It comes to the legislation. In the past, the law governing mining, the LIS SS5 and SS6, were very strict. And not deep in that. And then comes the 2182 and the 2177. And these have helped, maintain those standards. Of course, you have the inspectorate division also coming down. And their approach, some may say, well, don't tell us that you're coming to inspect us, so we are on our time. Yes, have been their philosophy.
Yeah.
That they are partners
Yes.
in the business and not coming with a big stick to come and catch you out and punish you. And I think that's that approach, it's something that has also helped the standards to maintain, because they come, and mind you, they are very tough.
Oh yeah, they are.
If telling you that we are coming and they still come and find that you haven't done something something that is in line with the law, they will not forgive you. Okay, you might think that they are wicked, but hey, they give you all the chance to clear up your mess, but you did not. So they come after you. But I think the legislation, the enforcement of the legislation, and like I said from the advent of technology has helped a lot in shaping up the standards in the industry.
So looking at standards, do you think, or how well do you think the industry has embraced the emerging or current trends in technology?
Very high. I mean, I can mention one, which is I'm very passionate about fatigue management. And if you talk to Joshua Mutotsi, he will tell you, me and him, that was one of our headaches in Gulf Resort at one point in time, fatigue. And it was all coming from the ship roster that we were operating at the time, that they called it Super 7. Right? That's where the issue was coming from. But once we decided to re-engineer the shift system, then we needed to also do things that would manage the habits of people.
Yes.
Okay. And when we did that through, there was something that BMOT rolled out at the time called vital behaviors. And for the mining department, fatigue management was big. And we did so many things. Called a playbook. So they operated themselves, listed a whole lot of things that they want to do or see done as a way of managing the fatigue. Then, of course, the company topped it up with technology. They brought in the scene.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And then that killed the issue of fatigue management, altogether.
Because fatigue management,
yes. So the advent of technology, yes, it has helped, but it should not be something that it's how do I put it? That because of technology we can go to sleep. No. The behavior of the people themselves must contribute to technology working well to support the advancement of
and then if I was going to be my next question, I was going to ask if at this stage do you still like making your hands dirty? So want to go down to first principles?
It's a bit tough now, because if you have to get out of the office to go and get your hands dirty, then there's something missing in what you're trying to put across. Okay. Yes, you can go in there and not really make your hands dirty, but to supervise how the things are working. But if you have to make your hands dirty, I mean, we used to have a guy in Temporary, he's a very good mechanic, first class. But if you go into the accident records, his name is always there.
There's something very wrong.
There's something very wrong. And I followed up, I wanted to find out why he's always getting hit.
Yeah.
And you go to the field, he's the one holding the spanner and all the tools, and then the guys are around him watching him do the job. That's why he was getting hit. Alright? So he was not a leader. He was not a very good leader in terms of imparting knowledge.
Yes.
So yes, you want to get your hands dirty, then what are the guys doing? Alright? So I don't believe in getting your hands dirty or getting down to do the job. But then that's when you don't have anybody.
Yeah.
But if you have people to help you do the job, then give them the right tools and equipment. Give them the right coaching. Alright? when you're going out there, you're going out there to observe them do the job correctly. And when you find deficiencies, you come back with them, do a feedback session, and help to correct them so they become better.
Viewers, we have the closer personal chat with Alfred Chinbuah, the manager EHS for Asante Gold Bibiani mine. Alfred believes that as managers, we need to put the right processes in place for our subordinates. We need to get them the right tools so that they will be able to execute their tasks properly and effectively and efficiently. Alfred, there's this thing I've always been thinking about, and it's always been a challenge. So, you've seen the industry from afar and near. Given the opportunity, what would you want to see being done differently?
In terms of
or EHS management practices?
I'd like to see a lot more women taking up the role and climbing to the top. I'd like to see that. So over here, I was going to engage 4 safety officers. And I said one of them should be a woman. Tried it 3 times and failed. The women that I've picked, they accept, and then the last minute they try to offer. And I saw that role is still there. And I told my executive vice president that it will be a woman. So I just want to see a lot more women taking that, because why do I see that? I see them much more very passionate about safety. The very few ones that I have helped in the industry. If you go to find whatever relationships I've held a hand all the way up. A few more than if I get the opportunity, I want to break up to a level where, sooner or later we have health and safety managers being females all around, or superintendents being female all around. Because I think that it's a role that, if you are passionate about it, and women have a lot of passion, I'm not saying the men are not passionate. So that's the direction that I want to see. I want to see a lot more women coming up to take up zero rules.
So if you are addressing the students and probably young graduates and young professionals, what do you know now, at least from your experience, that you thought you should have known from your one? You want to tell them?
Seek for knowledge. I only got to know of NEBOSH in 2012.
See?
Well, not 2010. But NEBOSH has always been.
Yes.
I only got to know of NEBOSH in 2010. And as soon as I got to know about it, I said to myself, I would enroll myself in it. And I did. And within 2 years, I had my international diploma.
Yeah.
So, let me say this. Now that you mentioned the young ones, they are all over the place doing all kinds of courses. There's this master's in Malaysia. Right? I'm saying it's a very bad course. Right? You should look for the right ones. Okay? You should look for the right ones. And get enrolled in and not waste their time. Anything called health and safety, because it is cheap or whatever. They should get the right courses. And they should seek the right advice in which course they can take. I see all manner of them Some of them, sometimes when they come for the interview and I look at them, some of the certificates I don't even look at it. To be honest with you. I don't look at the certificates.
Yeah.
And I've worked for quite a good number of them since coming out of the NEBOSH. This Malaysia one. We've got masters in Occupational Health and Safety. Well, you can't even do GSA. That's how serious it is. Then, again for the young ones, I don't think that's the call for the chamber, but maybe the call for to organize more of such CPD courses and webinars that will bring more and more professional people to share their knowledge and experience. Because, look, Lawrence, I will not be allowed to teach in any university now.
Yes.
Alright? But no university can stop me from organizing a webinar under your umbrella to share knowledge, with students. Right. Yes. So they should seek knowledge, and then the professional associations. I don't think the idea of people attending webinars, has caught up very well.
No, it's not.
So that should be a challenge for YM. Say, what can we do to bring the focus on this CPD thing through webinars that people would attend and then get credits for their CPD? It's because we don't probably attach so much importance to the CPD. We should create a platform where at the beginning of the year you put your CPD in there, and then we track it, and then we make sure that it's completed. Then you get a credit for it. Isn't it?
Yes.
But I don't think we've gone to that level.
No.
Yeah. So I think that's the level we should be looking at. Because there are a lot more of these young graduates coming into the fold of YM and Ghana Institute of Engineering and all of that. What are we doing for them to? But they're only interested in, there's a conference here, let's no, but now there's opportunity to do that, sit behind your computer, or even your phone. Alright? But even these days, some of the webinars, if you are unable to attend, they still give you the material to read.
Yes.
And then you can still submit it as having attended and then for your CPD. I think that's the way to go. To make sure that the young ones can catch up with and it will help them with their growth. It's going to help them with their own growth rather than going to do a master's in Malaysia. That's what I think.
So, what do you do when you're not thinking about the mining business? I also want to come back to you on this. But there's something I go on and we have a close and personal chat as part of the YM Asante Gold series with Alfred Chinbuah, the manager EHS for the beginning mine, Alfred Chinbuah. Alfred is also the lifetime achievement for all the things he's done in the mining industry. We are so proud of him, and I believe if you get to know him closely, like what we're doing, you will have a lot to tap from. Alfred, this is something that we are always missing. For them to go back to what you said about the job balance. I'm still thinking, look, there are countless professionals who still come to work with no money. Now, time from the previous weekdays work or activity. How do you strike a balance in this context?
So, for me, the issue that we should be tackling is not time management, but rather energy management. How does the worker manage his energy when he comes to work? He's supposed to come to work at 7 and close at 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Yes, physically present.
Yes, yes, yeah.
But he hasn't got the energy.
Fancy.
Because last night, he went to the clubhouse or to wherever, have fun. Or he stayed on the computer the whole night, watching movies, or playing games on the phone. He went to bed very late. He's come to work all right, but he hasn't got any energy. And the way people manage their energies also is by skipping breakfast. A good number of people don't eat breakfast before coming to work. And the question that I ask people is, a car traveling from Accra to Kumasi without fuel, how far can that car go? Okay. So in the morning, you need to put something in the body by way of carbohydrates to give you the energy that you need to think, and think purposefully in doing whatever jobs. But he hasn't eaten, he's waiting for lunch. So although he's behind the computer, seemingly working, the energy is not there. It's true. But he hasn't got the energy. So there's ways that the industry or even the mining units can reach out to the employees. And I want to start here. Luckily, I've got a dietitian here. So next week, we're going to start some series of talks to the employees on how to manage on their diet to give them that benefits that they need to derive from the food and give them energy to work. That's why I say we should be talking about energy management, not time management. Yes, we have the time, but we don't have the energy. So that's my take on how you manage that work balance as well. By 7 o'clock, I'm eating my breakfast. And it's usually made out of oats. Just oats. And then I chop a few, what do you call it, fruits in there. I don't take normal milk. I take soy milk. I put soy milk in. That's it. I don't eat bread. You know, and that small oats that I'm eating can take me up to 11, 12 o'clock before I eat my lunch. So I've never found wanting of energy in the morning because I've got the carbohydrates of the oats. And the oats is only 3 spoonfuls. That's all I eat. So I look at what I eat very carefully. I mean, if you know anybody who's close to me, will tell you that I'm very particular about what I eat. Because I'm diabetic. So I make sure that I can always manage my carbohydrates. So that's where what will give me, a surge in my sugar. But I manage that one. And I manage it very carefully, very well. So that's it. Right.
We usually don't get nursery professionals telling us, but for someone like you, are very busy and it's hugely productive. So how do you manage to split your time between your schedules for your tight one and then the issues at home?
You know the shift.
Yes, there are not two. How are you able to do this? Because that's actually been most of the problems professionals face.
So I do a bit of planning ahead. If there's an issue, most times it's funeral or something that I hope that I need to attend. If I cannot attend for 1 or 2 reasons, I'll let my superior go ahead of time. I can come. If I should be able to go, I don't take off time off my job to go and do those things. So I don't let my work get into my chieftaincy.
Yes.
And I don't let the chieftaincy get into my work. I draw a sharp line between the two activities. So if there's a funeral that I have to go, I'll probably close here around 4. And by 7 I'll be at home. Rest, go to the funeral. Sunday afternoon, church a set of account because I know Monday I'm going to go to work. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't mix my job with my other social activities. They stay distinct. Right? If I cannot find a time, then I'll take some leave and we're going to sort out those issues. So that's how
and now you need to make sure things are going on all right at home.
I'm in constant touch with my observing. And he knows the time to call me. 6 o'clock.
Yes.
But he's also going to farm.
Yeah.
Right? So 6 o'clock, we talk. By 6:30, we've ironed out whatever. And then we agreed on the way forward. If I cannot go to the funeral, I'll send him money. And then he'll go and make a donation of money.
Yes.
And there's someone who still call me and thank me.
Yeah.
The observing came and represented me. So, but if it is close family member, I have no choice. I have to go. So, if you ask me, my daughter was asking me yesterday the same question. How am I able to combine? There are things that I do, apart from the chieftaincy. There's an association that I'm the secretary.
Yeah,
yeah.
For them to still see that, yeah, you're still happy.
I don't know how to do it, but I do it.
Because, it's actually a challenge for...
It is. So, like my association's job, I do it after work.
Yeah.
I go home and finish eating, I get all the letters and so on.
Yeah.
If I cannot find a time, I take a leave. Take a day off, I go to my MP, to a day off to go and sort out personal issues. Same with my health issues. Right? I don't joke with my health. It's very personal for me.
It's very necessary.
Very necessary. So my appointment, and that's when I picked it from my mother. Give my mother 1,000 tablets. She will remember when to take each one of them. And she will remember when she has to go for review and all of that, without any prompting. Yeah. So that's how I live my life.
Yeah.
What the doctor tells me, I strictly obey. If I don't want to obey, I go to another doctor for a second opinion. So it's very easy if you want to find that work balance. Right? It's very easy to find that work balance. And it's quite easy not to find that work balance. Okay. Now at my age, what am I going to do in town? I'm not going to the clubhouse. I'm not going to go sit somewhere. That's time, isn't it? That time I could sit and watch TV or do my gardening. Alright? Or call my reception and talk to him. Or do other things that I need to do. Right? So if you can look at your profile, your own profile, and say, this is one important in my life. I will not do them after work or over the weekends. You'll find time to do useful things.
I very much agree with you. Now I actually want to finish by focusing on those strengths again. What's been your major strengths over the years? Once again, just go back to what's been pushing you.
What's pushing me is
the major has been
the determination to succeed. And knowing that I can succeed because I succeeded. Gives me the impetus to work hard to achieve that goal. It's my inner driver. Can this be done? And if I get the answer yes, it can be done, I go for it. I push, and I push everyone around me. I push everyone around me.
Yes.
I mean, in personality, whatever, I'm a red person, which means that go. But I have not a bit, so much of blue in me as well, which means that I'm a very detailed person. So you give me something to read, you think I haven't read it. I've read every single bit of it and giving you feedback. So yes, paying attention to detail, making sure that the goal that is in front of you is achieved, drives me to get to the goal.
Yes, we have a very interesting chat with Alfred Chinbuah, the manager at EHS Asante Gold. Alfred also has won a Lifetime Achievement Award in the mining industry. That was just about 2-3 years ago. And he will want industry professionals to have the determination to succeed and know that they will succeed. That should be the drive behind every success. Alfred, let's look at your time way back when you went for the first interview. You had to now leave the fire service. Time and time again, you didn't give it the same opportunity. Would you still have wanted to be in the mine?
When I think of the hindsight now, yes. It's much more formal, it's much more disciplined, it's much more engaging, it's much more interesting place to work.
Right, very interesting to work, and you always say mining is joy. Thanks so much for having us.